Hey everyone, welcome to the first ever episode of Black Me Up. I'm Dae.
I'm Lily.
And it's 2017, and there are two other members of the podcast, but they're off doing their own thing, so we said, let's just start. Did you have any New Year's resolution?
To be honest, I didn't really have a New Year's resolution because every time I have a New Year's resolution, it just never works out, and it just ends up just being,
True.
A goal that's unfulfilled.
That's true.
But this year, I still have the same goals that I have as last year because 2016 wasn't really the best year.
Yeah. What were your goals?
Well, one of my goals was to actually live on my own, and have a very stable career and just be stable basically, which currently I am not.
I feel you.
Yeah. So now I'm trying to, as career-wise and financially, I'm just trying to be stable. That's my goal. But personally goals, I'm just trying to improve myself and as they call, find myself, through just a lot of things, to being adventurous, traveling, and your friends and family, just go out there, finding your history and finding about yourself and stuff like that. So I'm trying to really be one with myself this year.
That's so true. So, I agree on that. And also, with New Year's resolutions, sometimes I'll have a New Year's resolution, but most of my goals come throughout the year spontaneously. And it's I really want to accomplish this because I've accomplished this.
Exactly, yeah.
So I feel New Year's resolutions are more of I don't know.
It's hard.
Sometimes mediocre because it's easy to say something without actually going through and trying to do it.
Yeah.
Because you actually have to live.
And plus you have a whole year,
Exactly.
To that's hard. Because me, I'm more I like small goals.
Yeah, in 3 months, I want to accomplish this.
Yeah. Small goals that I know I can accomplish. And just the whole New Year's resolution is things happen, life happens, you can have this goal, but when something happens throughout the year, your goal is definitely going to change.
Yep.
And you got to be ready for that. And some people get frustrated because their goal isn't being achieved, and they think whatever happened in life is just, they don't know what to do because they don't have the next step. And they're just frustrated
and they're not prepared for the mistake.
And then that goal becomes extended long term, instead of in that year.
And some people just give up if their goals don't go the way that they want. So.
Exactly. The whole, working out thing. Everyone trying to be fit.
The first 2 weeks, everybody's in the gym, and then after that.
Definitely. I worked at LA Fitness for a couple months, and I saw the rush of people in January, the month of January. The rush of people was ridiculous. And then you see the amount of people in summertime. It just increases, decreases super fast, It's just ridiculous. And it's just because people, they start that workout regimen and then they get stuck in between because life happens. They get a new career, new schedule, or a new family member is something happens.
Yep.
And they completely don't know what to do because they had that goal for the whole year and something happens and they just either give up, like you said.
Yep, they become unmotivated.
Yeah, and they're just oh no, I can't do this because this, whatever happened was not planned in my life. You should be achieving and accomplishing and writing new goals throughout the year.
Yep.
Not just the beginning of the year and expect it to be accomplished at the end.
Right. Have 5 goals on New Year's. Yeah. And expect to accomplish all of those without something changing. That's unrealistic.
Yeah.
It's fun to have those ideas by this month I want a car. By this month I want to be here. Yeah. But then also be prepared. Life happens, so start smaller.
Yeah, exactly. Small goals. And just go through. Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Also, since there's 4 of us and only 2 of us are here, you guys can expect for different podcast episodes to have different numbers of people. So you can expect between 2 or 3 or 4 of us. So, yeah, just get to know us.
Yeah, it basically just depends all on our schedule. Cause
yeah, scheduling is really hard.
Especially with us, because we're all different ages and we all have different things. Some of us are in school. Some of us are, like, just working. Some of us are just traveling. And it's just, like, it's pretty hard to put us all together sometimes. But we manage to do it.
Yeah.
But those times that we do, we like to spend it with just,
each other.
With each other.
And also, when I was checking on, like, what was it, on my iPod, and I was looking at the very first notes that I wrote for, like, this podcast idea, that was back in February 2016. 16.
February.
It was, like, February 16th or February 17th.
Really?
That we had this idea back in Ty's old house.
Like, literally a year.
Literally a year. So that was one of our New Year's resolutions, too, to start something as a group and look at how late. Yeah, remember?
I don't remember that, actually.
We were like, yeah, let's do something as a group, whether it be a YouTube channel, a podcast, or some type of, like, something.
Well, shoot, like 2017, that's the year.
Exactly, 2017 is the year. Because 2016, lots of celebrity deaths happened, lots of big things happened that kind of made it a trashy year.
Speaking of that, like, how was your 2016? Like, was it a good for you? Because I know some people had a good 2016, not the best.
Yeah.
And some people just was completely the worst year for them.
Honestly, yeah. Honestly, for me, 2016 was just like, I lived it in the moment. Some moments were good and some were bad, but most of the best moments that happened were at the beginning, like the first 3 months.
Yeah.
And then at the end, the last, like, 3 months.
So the worst parts were just in the middle.
In the middle, yeah, basically. So, like, the New Year's, it was good. My birthday, March, it was good. And then September,
so would you say it was
good.
Like, the worst year that you've ever had, though?
The worst? In terms of, like,
your
pop
life.
culture and, like, social media and, like, everything, I'd say it was pretty trash. Yeah.
Okay, based on all those, but, like, personal life, like, do you think for you, did you feel like, it was just not your year?
It was just, I think it was neutral, because it was the year after high school, a full year being out of high school, not exactly knowing what I want to do, where I want to go, and just figuring out exactly what I wanted to do. 2016 was the year for me to figure out where I wanted to go. And so 2017, I have a plan. I'm going to execute it. And I just hope it all goes well,
I know. That's all you can do is hope. Right?
Just hope, pray, be positive, be optimistic. That's the goals. What about you? How was your 2016?
My 2016 was very interesting. I mean, you did, we graduated 2015. It was the first year of us, just not being in school. And I actually, cherished that because, it was a little bit more like freedom, I guess you'd say. And I straight up came out of my parents' house. So right after high school. So that was the year for me just being independent, being on my own type of thing. And it was very interesting. And I'm so, even though it wasn't good, I wouldn't say it was the shittiest year, but it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad personally for me. Not just like social media wise or pop culture wise and all that stuff. It was like, personally, it was shitty as fuck. Like, it was really bad. But I'm glad that I experienced that because a lot of things that happened in 2016 for me, it changed my mindset. It changed what I wanted to do with my life. It changed a lot of how I see things and what I do. And, it was just all experience. 2016 was experience. Mostly negative, but at the end of the day, that negative experience to me was positive.
Yeah.
Because it was early life lessons.
Teaches you what not to do.
Yeah. So it was really it was just a lesson learned, everything that happened in 2016. So especially how young I am, the fact that I did all those things this early, I'm a little bit glad because I know if I come across it later in my life, what to do.
Yeah. And
how to approach it. So, 2016, yeah, bad. But it kind of made me who I am right now and how I think.
That's good.
And it helped, like you said, for my future, like what I know now, I know what I want to do. Not fully know, like, yes, this is what I'm going to do, but I have more of a structured base.
There you go.
I know what I'm going to go pursue, and I know what I want out of life. And I know, based on 2016, it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be the prettiest thing ever, the process of getting to where I want, but I'm as stronger as, like, than I was when I came into 2016, you know, so 2016, I appreciate it, thank you, because without it, I would probably be this ignorant, lost, young person that people see me as.
Oh my god.
Which I am not.
Yes, you definitely aren't. But.
So 2016 was interesting for me.
So thanks 2016, bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Please don't come back. Yeah. So do you want to tell them what we have coming up for the next podcast?
Okay, so for the next podcast and for future podcasts, then our ideas are along the lines of giving you guys insight from the perspective of Black girls, because all of us are Black. We come from different places and we have different things mixed in us, but we have that common denominator of Blackness. So,
and the thing is, I honestly think we should have explained this in the beginning as well.
I know we should have,
but
we can give you guys a little something. So Dae, me, I'm full African American. Lily is.
I was born in Africa, but I was raised in the U.S. and my dad is Sudanese and my mom's East African. So I just consider myself full African when people ask me, because going into death, people usually don't know or understand.
Are you from Africa? Do you speak African?
Yeah, so I get a lot of questions, but yeah, hopefully we talk about that subject.
I know, I'm excited to talk about that subject. No, that's gonna be that might be the next one, actually.
Yeah.
Ty, she is African American and Mexican. Yeah. And Sansare is African American and white.
We share the fact that we're African American, all different types of African American.
Yep.
But we're all, at the end of the day, African American. Yep. We're Black. Even though our culture, how we live is a little bit different.
How we grew up.
How our parents raised us and stuff. It's really different. Even though we're all categorized as, like, under one tree as Black.
Exactly.
So it's really interesting to see that. And the fact that we all bond not because we're African American, that's the thing, too.
Yeah, exactly.
It just happened because of that. Yeah. And usually a lot of people, like, especially when you're in school, that's the reason you bond with certain people, like, you know.
Because your skin.
Yeah, because you guys have the same skin tone, you guys have the same culture, you know, and you're both African American. Like, if you have a brown skin and I'm a brown girl, then, hey, you know, we're gonna get along better than if I was, you know, trying to associate with someone else. But in our group, it's like, it's not about that. That's exactly the interesting thing.
We have this. It's just this bond between us, and we've all known each other for what, 7?
I would say the youngest, which is Tyler. We've known her since she was 7 or 8. That's
almost 10 years. It's not been that long. Oh my gosh.
It's been that long, almost 10 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, because when Tyler was 8, I was 10. And I'm 20 now, so 10. Yeah.
Where have I been?
But again, that's going to be another topic as well, like friendships.
Friendships, dating.
Family.
Yep, family.
Yeah, so, the whole concept of our podcast is, well, Black Me Up is, again, for girls that are African American in different ways.
We are a voice for Black girls, basically. In a lot of the subjects that we're going to talk about, knowing that we're not alone and knowing that regular people, other people, go through the same exact things as us, that's basically what our foundation is built on. Being able to relate and being that voice for girls to relate to us.
Exactly. And the thing is, And the best part about it is, like, we're all different ages, so it's not like you're hearing it from, like, 30-year-old women, 20-year-old women. You get a teen's point of view, 20-year-old's point of view. Everyone's experience
are different,
yeah. And it's just...
everyone can relate. I think there's that boundary that everyone can relate to.